restart. Good morning, and thank you for joining me today in today's live. I'm going to be going over my meal prep process. So I recently put out a couple of videos regarding meal prep, and I got a good response from people about the meals I was preparing, and some people wanted to know more about what this process actually looks like. So I'm just going through and showing what I typically would do on a weekend. My meal prep process starts out before Sunday. I usually do the meal prepping on Sunday, but my son and I will pick out our recipes for the week. It's usually just lunches and dinners that we'll prepare or pre-plan. And then on Sundays, I'll actually prepare the meals. If there's any grocery shopping that needs to be done, then we'll do that like the day before or sometimes the day of. And then on Sundays, I'll usually meal prep. Now, usually I'll do it after Sunday service. I'm doing it earlier today, so it's a little out of order for us, but typically it's done on Sundays. And then here, let's see what we got there. Oh, thank you, honey. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So today we're gonna go through just the preparing lunches and dinners, because that's typically all we prepare. Our breakfasts are usually pretty straightforward. We usually eat the same thing, so I don't usually need to pre-plan those. It's usually eggs, scrambled eggs, avocado, and frozen blueberries. So today we're going to be preparing some Tuscan chicken soup and shrimp Cobb salad. So I typically will prep everything. So that's all the chopping, cutting, all the produce. I will go ahead and prep those, and then I'll prepare the meal. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to go through and show you how I actually prep all the ingredients. And I'm gonna sometimes have to walk off camera just because I have my recipes over here and my sink, okay? So as you come in, please let us know where you're joining from. I would love to hear where you're joining from. Do you meal prep? Do you hate it? Do you love it? I personally love it. And it really helps us to just cut down on time throughout the week where we're busy. I'm busy. I'm a single, I'm a full-time solo parent. So I'm really busy, and all my meals have to be quick and easy. So I typically opt for quick meals that have minimal ingredients for the most part, and can be made in like 30 to 60 minutes. So that's kind of how I gauge what I'm going to be prepping. I'll also initially look into my kitchen to see what ingredients I already have on hand. And then I will try to create meals that have those basic ingredients. And then when I go grocery shopping, I will just add on the remainder of the things that I need that I didn't have. So it really helps me to use up what I have at home. So it prevents, it minimizes food waste. And then it helps with my grocery bill. So it's been working out. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, like I said, is I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping the ingredients for the salads and the soup. All right, so I do have some tomatoes here that I'm going to be prepping, and use that later. Actually, all right, so I'm just going to have some tomatoes here, some grape tomatoes. It's pretty quick. And just so you know, I currently have my shrimp and my chicken cooking in the background. I try to just get that going because I don't want to have to deal with raw meat while I'm filming, just in case I have to go up to the screen and touch on that, So that's cooking in the background, and this is how I typically would do it. I'll try to cook things that can be made in batch, or do two things at a time. So cooking while I'm preparing helps. If I'm doing like oven baked meals, I'll have the oven going while I'm prepping. Things like that. All right, let's see if I can see where people are coming from. No. All right, so this week actually is going to be a short week for us. We're going to be traveling, so I don't actually have to prepare as much as I typically would for the week, which is nice. But the process is very similar, except for you would probably see a larger, more ingredients being prepped. And let's see. So I really am just prepping for 3 meals for 3 days out of this week, and then we'll be out of town. right, and some of the items I kind of just like pre-prepared for you guys, so you don't have to sit through most of it. But I was specifically asked to go through the whole process, so I'm trying not to. I'm really trying to show everything as was requested. And then if you guys have any other ideas for or questions about meal prep, other questions you want me to answer, or videos you'd like me to make, please, I am open to suggestions. So you just let me know. Just send them in the chat, or comment on the videos that you watch, and I'm happy to do a video on them if I can, or answer them in one of my weekly lives. I usually go live on Wednesdays. This is kind of a one-off just because on Sundays I do meal prep. I don't try not to meal prep in the middle of the week if I don't have to. All right, so I got the cherry tomatoes ready. And next I'm gonna go ahead and prep the onion. I'm gonna use the chopper for this. I love this thing. I just recently got it. This is like the third time I'm using it in a meal prep, and it just really does save time. So I am just prepping the onion, just cutting it in half. The recipe calls for some red onion. You can use whatever onion you like, or no onion at all. Okay, so the chopper is pretty cool. One second. You can see it in action. It is kind of noisy. I will forewarn you on that one. It comes with these dicer sizes. You have like really slicers, dicers, or cubes, and then like really fine cubes. And then you just decide what you want. So for me, I want to, this is the fun part where you get to decide what you want. I want them to be sliced. So I'm gonna use my little slicer here. It just snaps in place. Anybody interested? Snaps in place. Has this little drawer here. All right, and then you just go ahead and lay your produce on and chop. And as you can see, it delivers into that drawer there. All right, so I just need one onion because I actually already had a little bit left for my last meal prep. So I'm gonna add it to that. All right, and then that's ready to go. Rinse this out. Board for a moment. All right, so the next thing I'm going to prep are the sweet potatoes for the soup, the Tuscan soup. Now the recipe actually calls for white potatoes, but I had sweet potatoes on hand, so that's what I'm using. Again, I like to use what I have. Do you meal prep with soups? Yeah, so today I'm actually making a soup. It's a Tuscan soup. And I love soups because, I mean, you can make them like super in bulk and freeze them, or just make them for the week. And I absolutely love making soups as meal prep. So today we're gonna be going with a soup and the Cobb salad, the shrimp Cobb salad. And it's a chicken Tuscan soup. Now, I'm gonna admit, I have not tried this recipe, but my son and I picked it out. He was very excited about the ingredients, so I said, all right, let's do it. So we'll see. I'll let you know how it tastes. The recipe looks delicious. I'll go through the ingredients in just a moment. So for my potatoes, I'm gonna chop or cube them. And this is the part that I really love about this chopper. because let me tell you, these sweet potatoes be getting me sometimes. I before this chopper, of course, I have to just chop everything all, of course, by hand. I'm not the type to get the pre-chopped veggies because of cost. I just feel like I'm just might as well just prep it myself. But I know some people do. But this thing saves me time. It really does. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the blades. And if you do get this, be careful. These blades are sharp. I did cut myself the first time I went to clean them. They are dishwasher safe, but I washed them by hand. All right, so swapping out my blades, and here we go. Again, this might be a little bit noisy, especially with the sweet potatoes because they're thicker. So I excuse the noise. You can really get out some aggression with this thing. Let me know if that's too noisy. Okay. All right. So get the chopper ready, and sorry, this one isn't as noisy, I don't think. You let me know. Does it sound pretty loud, this chopper, for you guys? Oh, yay. I hope you do try it. I really do. I really enjoy this process, and also the meals that we make on our meal preps, because again, I just specifically look for recipes that are quick. As much produce as it looks like, you know, I'm preparing, it's healthy, it's colorful. We get our fruits and veggie servings in, and it's really rewarding, honestly, seeing my son be excited about the meals, which is really a big part of why I involve him in, and look at that. It just makes it so, I got a little bit more to do, so I'm gonna leave those little bits in there. It's just great. I love this thing. I love it. But yeah, my son gets so excited about planning the meals. The other thing is that I'm like, he knows, like, we have to pick out two to three veggies and 1 to 2 apples, like, per week. Or we have a theme, you know, what apples of the week and what veggies of the week. And so he's already going into the week knowing he's got to eat his fruits and veggies. And he's excited about it because he's helped me pick out the recipe. And then in the middle of the week, when he somehow, you know, picked out Brussels sprouts earlier in the week and decides he doesn't like Brussels sprouts anymore, by Wednesday, I remind him of his choices that he made. It's like, you know, you helped me pick this out. And, but because so sometimes that little reminder is enough for him to be like, okay, he'll eat it. But sometimes he does. He's just like, I just don't want to eat them by Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, you know? But that's where it's a saving grace that we pick out 2 to 3 vegetables per week. So that's just one. There's still 2 other vegetable options that he's going to eat, you know? All right, we got that going. Okay, I have my eggs for the salad as well. Let's see. My bowls are big enough. Yeah, they will be. Okay. Just gonna dry this out because I'm doing the boiled eggs and I don't want the yolk to get all something. All right, so replacing that, and then I'll go ahead and swap out cubes for sliced. I'm gonna slice the eggs. Now, eggs are a bit softer, so I'm a little, I've done it before. We'll see how it works today, but since they're softer, they can be a little bit more messy. That's just also why I tried to do them last, but actually I realized I still have a couple more things I need to use. Okay. All right, working out all right. So, okay, thank you. And so in the chat, tell me, do you typically meal prep, or what's the hardest part about the meal prep process for you? I'm curious, because I know it's different for everybody. Ooh, okay, we're getting a little messy. That's all right. All right, so this is for the Cobb salad, the boiled eggs. This one will be fun to clean. Okay, a bowl. Let me dry that. Oh man, so I have that chicken and shrimp cooking, and it's smelling pretty good. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I'm gonna make a mess. No, I'm not even gonna try that one. Let's just use a spoon. Yeah, I'm gonna make a mess anyway. Okay, bigger bowl. There we go. Nicer to myself. Try to squeeze that all into this little bowl. Oh, just asking for a mess. All right, let me clean up a little bit because it's getting a little messy. All right, so next, the couple other things I have are some celery and carrots for the soup. So let me see, I got the slicer. I'm gonna, oof, yeah, let me get this. Let me clean this bad boy. Okay, so this, just so you know, this, let me show you. This chopper, the presser here gets, you know, this is from the eggs, but it comes with this little tooth or comb, whatever you want to call it, and it gets into the grooves, so it makes the cleaning process actually pretty easy. So I'm just going to do that really quick. All right. We got the bulk of that off. After my meal prep is complete, then I'll go in and like really scrub things, but it's good enough for now. All right, so the celery, I'm just gonna put it into, I'm debating on if I need to just, if I just do it by hand. I've gotten spoiled by the chopper, but I'm not gonna, I'm actually just gonna do this by hand. Fully by hand, I should say. These are pretty quick. All right. Oh yeah. Planning with milk. So Angie says she struggles with planning the meal prep and getting all the ingredients she needs. And I did too. Like in the beginning, when I was on this early in my health journey, what I would do is like, I know I need to eat healthy. So, you know, they tell you to shop the perimeter, which is like your produce, your meat section and all that. So I would buy so many fresh fruits and veggies, and I didn't have a plan for what I would do with them. I just know like if I eat these, I'm gonna be healthy. But I didn't have a plan. So ultimately oftentimes, a lot of that food went to waste because I didn't plan for the meals. So what I've started to do was first look to see what I have on hand at home. So the food that I had have won't go to waste. You know, it really reduces the amount of waste that I have. And so I look at what I have at home, and then I start just, you can do this so many ways, right? You can go to Google and just start listing off your ingredients that you think will go together, and then just say, or add recipes with these ingredients, or utilize ChatGPT. I mean, come on. Like, the nice thing about online, like if you Google it, you can usually get like recipes or blogs and stuff. But ChatGPT can actually help you out as well. But that's what I would do. And you know, now I have like this meal app, but it's essentially the same thing. I'll just select for recipes that have ingredients that I already have at home. And then, of course, the recipe is going to have some things that I don't have at home. And that's when I'll create my shopping list based on what else I need. The reason, again, I don't meal prep for breakfast is because we're kind of boring for breakfast. We eat the same things. And then for lunch and dinner is where we try to do more variety. I'm so busy in the morning. I'm like, I need this process to be so streamlined. We have basically two major things that we'll eat for breakfast. Two major meal options for breakfast. Excuse me. Rinse this off again. And, you know, as I said before, that's typically just eggs, avocado, frozen blueberries, and every now and then we'll do like just fruit and yogurt or smoked salmon. Actually, we'll do that often if I pick it up if I remember to get it from Costco. So for me, that meal isn't that challenging. So I don't worry about it. But lunch and dinners, yeah. I meal prep, or I pack my son's lunches. Whoops. Okay. You will not see me slice my finger today. I've prayed on that one. I was worried about burning something or hurting myself. All right. So for the salad or the soup, you know, I think these are okay. I don't got to use a chopper up for everything. All right. As fun as it is. I found that also, like, not springing Brussels sprouts on my son is nice. So like, that's also why, even though he mostly likes them, I would, again, if he's eating it more than 2 days in a row, then he'll start to get tired of them, which is, you know, okay, that's fine. That's, even some adults don't even like, that's one of the things they don't like about meal prep, is because they don't want to eat the same things all week. But involving him in the process really helps him get in his mind that, again, like, he's going to eat fruits and veggies, and he also agreed on these earlier in the week. And again, it's really rewarding as a parent seeing your child eat healthy foods and give you a thumbs up. It really is. And then I get to talk to him. It's also a learning opportunity during the meal prep process, where I get to talk to my son and explain to him the reason why, like, what these foods are doing to his body and why they're good or healthy for him. And he likes that. Especially when we talk about protein and how, you know, building those strong muscles. He gets a kick out of that. Or he's into soccer, so explaining to him how, you know, he likes to be, he's a defender. So he runs and kicks, and he has a really good kick. So explaining to him how these foods are helping him with his athletic performance too is a motivator for him. All right, so I'm just hand cutting these, chopping these ones, just because I could have put them in a slicer and cubed them, but I was a little undecided as far as the size I wanted them to be. All right, that'll work. That will work. I'm running out of perfectly sized bowls, so you're gonna see me. Here we go. Okay, so I'm looking, I think the only thing left is like the avocado, which I'll do last because I don't want them to brown on me. And then now I can start showing you how I prep the salads. Let's see. The shrimp is done. All right. Off screen, sorry about that. Anybody already on there, let me know if you're planning on meal prepping this weekend. Like what's on your meal prep agenda? If you're also a meal prep on Sunday type. Did I catch you early enough, or have you already prepped for the week? Okay. So I'm gonna let the shrimp cool a little bit. I guess I didn't think about the timing. I'll usually let the shrimp cool for a bit before I put it in the jars. So we'll see how cool we can get. I'll go ahead and cut up the chicken for the soup. And maybe get that going first. Put away my tools. So I have some chicken tenderloins on the stove, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut those up so that it's ready for the soup. The recipe actually calls for shredded chicken, but I wasn't about to do that. So we're gonna cube it. So it's done. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. And that's also giving me time to allow the shrimp to cool off just a little bit. All right, and then let me see if there's any responses to meal prep. Planning meal prep, and okay, nope. And then let me just scroll up. Okay, yeah, Angie, I really hope you do try the soup and the salad. So far, do you feel like you'd have any rebuttal to the ingredients that? Let me see if I can come over here. Maybe you guys can see me a little bit. Okay, yeah, I'm just cutting up the chicken. It's chicken breast or chicken tenderloin. Yeah, and I know for larger families you have different challenges or very picky eaters. So that can, of course, complicate things. But I do think that making it an open discussion could help. If that doesn't seem to help, then more so having that okay, this is what we're eating. That's what I also had to do with my son too. Is okay, this is what we're eating for the week. There are healthy options. If it's 3 veggies and they're really just boycotting one, then it's okay, eat the other 2. Which 2 are you going to eat, type of thing. But so far, this has really helped out as far as helping with the rebuttals for veggies. And for leafy greens, he really likes romaine lettuce, so I will count that as a win versus trying to get him to eat kale. Although the Tuscan Soup does call for kale, and I let him know that that's in the soup, but it's not going to be, it's going to be in the soup. So it's going to be a different experience eating it that way versus having it in a salad. So the Cobb salad, we're going to use romaine lettuce, and then we have kale for the soup. And he's already aware, so again, that really does help. All right, almost done cutting up the chicken. Okay, and we're about 35 minutes in, 37 minutes in, and everything, the longest part is really the preparing the produce. So for me, since I use a lot of fresh veggies, that does eat up a lot of time prepping those dishes or those items. Sometimes what I'll do, which I didn't do this time around, sometimes if I get large batches of things, like on a Costco haul, I'll go ahead and prep the ingredients like I did now in much larger amounts. I'll put aside what I'm going to use for the week, and then the rest I'll freeze in freezer bags or freezer containers, and they can be used for the next week's meal prep. So I'll go through the whole process, but then at least that time I'm saved the time it took for me to cut up everything. So those are just other ways that you can make this process run a little bit smoother for you. I just didn't have that planned this time around. All right. So I'm gonna get out the mason jars. We're gonna do 3 salads each for the week. Let's see. Okay. Okay, and I think it's cool enough. So I made my own salad dressing. It's super simple. It's just, I need some feta for it. It's just olive oil, lemon juice, red wine vinegar, and seasoning. I know I have the ingredients and the recipe in my last meal prep that you can look at. And then I will also put the recipes in the description once this goes live. Okay, so, oops. Alrighty. Shaking it up. Let me get my tablespoons. Okay, so the thing about when you make the mason jar salads, you really want to think about putting all the juicy stuff at the bottom so everything else doesn't get soggy if you don't want it to be soggy. All right, so I usually will, for that reason, I will start with the salad dressing at the bottom. And I will do just like it's a little congealed because it's cold. The olive oil and the juice. All right, so I usually will do a tablespoon or 2 of the dressing. Okay. In each jar, kind of going out of order there. That's all right. That's that, and then I will add the other ingredients. Okay, so when you have your salad, of course, once it's time for you to eat it, once you're ready to eat it, you'll shake it up and then pour it into a bowl. So, all right. Now I'm gonna add the lovely shrimp. Let's see. Half cover. And then when you do these salads, you really want to get the wide mouth mason jars. If you go the mason jar route, of course you can just plop these into a bowl as well. But I just really enjoy the mason jar method here. Oops, I skimped on that one. Right. So it's like turning into about 6 to 8 pieces of shrimp per jar, but I'm really just going to use up all this, so I'm not really measuring. And then of course, like the meat at the bottom, or whatever, if you have a protein source, whatever's at the bottom, you want to like not mind it getting marinated in your dressing. So definitely don't care if the shrimp gets a little extra flavor from the salad dressing. Let's see, I'm just trying to even it out a little bit. That one's pretty good. One lonely shrimp. Got it in that one. All right. All right, now the garbanzo beans are optional, but I like them. So it adds more, of course, to the jars and to the salad, I should say. And it's not typically in a Cobb salad, but I'm adding it because I love garbanzo beans. And it also adds more protein. So this is the serving, or this is a half a cup that I'm using here, measuring spoon. But again, I'm kind of approximating and adding more just for reference. And these are 32-ounce mason jars. And then this is 2 cans of garbanzo beans that I've just rinsed and prepping. So again, I'm just gonna use the rest because there's only a little bit left. I'm not gonna use that for anything else. All right. Okay, and that's that. Okay, next are cucumbers. Actually, I'm gonna put this, just kidding. I'm gonna put the red onions in. Use a little bit less. Half a cup. I'm using red onions. You can use them or not use them. I know some people just really don't, you know, onions don't agree with them, but I like them. All right. And then 3 of them I'm not going to put onions in because my son won't. I'm just going to end up, oops, oh well, extra onions for me. I'll end up having to pick those out, and I'm not, you know, he don't like onions, he don't like onions. So 3 of those are his. And then tomatoes, same thing. He does not like the cherry tomatoes. Sometimes he'll ask for them, in which case I'll just give him some of mine if he decides, oh, I do want to try them. But I'm not going to add it to his because I know I'm just going to have to pick it out. And that's annoying sometimes. If I don't have to do it, I'm just not going to force it. All right, I'll eat on these today. Okay, what else? What else? We have eggs. Okay. I'm gonna do the cucumbers first. We love us some cucumbers. That is next. Let's see, did I get anybody? Oh wait, hang on, I'm sorry. Apparently my vision is not that great. So Angie said, I plan to meal prep after vacation. She's taking notes. Oh, the ingredients look great. Yeah, I love them. And then, thank you, I would have put the dressing on. Oh, yeah. Right, because you normally think to put the dressing on the top because that's how you eat it. But if you're thinking about it sitting, you know, for a couple days, then it could get something soggy that you might not want soggy. And then, yeah, he loves cucumbers. I'm gonna give him a little, no, I'm not gonna. Let's see how this looks. Oh man, these cucumbers smell so good. Now, normally I'll be chomping on stuff. I will just be eating. I'm not gonna do that right now. Y'all don't wanna hear me chewing. I know some people have strong aversions to hearing people chew. I have a family member like that. They will almost kick you out of their house if they hear you chewing. So I'm gonna be nice. All right, I really like, whew, my hands are getting tired. All right, give him a couple more. My son really loves cucumbers. And I usually will save some for his lunches too. So I might have to cut up another cucumber for his lunch. I got a little excited. Yeah, for his lunch, my son knows he has to have a fruit, a vegetable, and a protein source. So this week we're doing, so it's a shorter week, and so I have eggs next. So I'm gonna plop those in there. It's about 1 egg per jar. I think I went a little heavy on that first one, so we'll see. These are 6 boiled eggs in this bowl. So about 1 per jar, exactly 1 per jar. So as you can see from the shrimp, the garbanzo beans, and the egg, like this is a pretty nice high protein salad. Okay. All right, the last thing that I'm gonna add There's two things that you could add, but sometimes I've tried putting the avocado at the top and then putting my lettuce, but I noticed last time I did that, the avocado did start to brown. The other thing I thought about doing, but I forgot on this live, was to try to put the avocado at the bottom because the dressing has lemon juice in it, so it might help it from browning. I'll try to experiment with that like later, but instead I'm just gonna go ahead and not put the avocado in the salad because I don't want it to brown. And avocado for me, it's just so easy to prepare. Just, you know, slice it, cube it, scoop it out, you know? That sounded like a lyric to a song. Anybody? No? Okay. So next is just the greens, which is romaine lettuce. And we like our romaine. And you just put them at the top. I kind of chop these. They're kind of like large leaves, but there we go. We don't care. And we're not picky with the leaf size. You can dice these, slice these as thin as you want, but I'll just, you know, put them at the top as much as you want. Usually at least a cup's worth I'll add to the top. And my son really likes romaine lettuce. And since he doesn't like as many of the other ingredients, as you can see, his jar has more room to fill, so I can add more lettuce to his. Me, I kind of tend to like all the other stuff in the salad versus the greens, so it's perfect for me. I can just put a little bit at the top and be done with it. All right, I might add a little bit more to mine, but let's see. I want to make sure my boy gets his fill of the lettuce. Crunchy. How about you guys? Do you guys like salads with do you like all the leafy greens, or do you kind of tend to like your salad with like all the other ingredients to make it more fun for you? All right. Okay, so, oops, got a little. Could take some of mine. All right, got a couple more there you can use. So there's no real science to it, guys. I mean, it's just about a cup per jar. And then again, like I said, my son likes more of that, so he gets more. All right, so that is it for the mason jars. I'm gonna lid them, cap them, and be done with them. Okay. Okay. All right, that's it. So like for my lunches or for, yeah, once I'm ready to eat this, basically, and I will pack this in my lunch. I'll put it in my lunch bag, and I'll usually bring a bowl. So I'll bring the bowl and a lunch bag, and then I shake it up and then plop it into the bowl, and it's ready to go. So you just need your bowl, a fork, and a napkin, and you're good to go for your lunches if you're the type to bring these to lunch. So I'm just gonna put these in my fridge, and they're ready to go for our next meal. All right, give me one moment. And now I'm just gonna clean up my mess. The last thing I'm gonna do is prep the soup, and that's, I'll prep it, and maybe I'll show you guys like in a YouTube short the finished product, because it takes about 45 minutes to cook after it's been prepped. Okay, give me one moment. I'm just reverting back to my recipe. So for you guys who just saw me do the salads, the mason jar salads, how practical do you feel like those would be for you? Do you feel like you'll do them? Oh, you like the leafy greens. I know they're so good. I really do like the mason jar method. It feels practical. Some people might not like that it's a glass jar, which that's understandable. I know they have like silicone sleeves and stuff that you can use for your mason jars if you're the type that find that to be a problem. Sorry, drinking water. Mason jars can be used for everything. All right, I'm just gonna heat my pan. All right. I'm gonna use my oil, and I'm gonna just heat up cook the onions for a little bit before I add the other ingredients. And for this one, I'm gonna use the yellow onion. You guys have any plans for today? It's not a trick question. If meal prep is not on your list of plans, that's okay. Yay! I'm happy. I really hope you do try it, Angie. I really think you're gonna like it. I really do. And it looks cool. Like Jackson really liked the look, or my son really liked the look of the jars. So that's an added bonus. Okay, so I'm just again heating up the onions. I'm a little off camera, but add more. I really do like onions. He doesn't mind them if they're cooked. He just doesn't like them raw. Okay. Add some seasoning. Usually like sea salt, and then let me know. Have you ever tried this seasoning? It's the 21 seasoning from Trader Joe's. Man, I love this stuff. I pretty much put it on everything. I really do. To include this soup. All right. That is nice and good. All right. Okay, then I have some thyme I'm going to add here. You can use dried thyme or fresh. It's up to you. I'm using fresh. Turn it down, it's starting to pop a little bit. Let's see. Oh, you use that seasoning too. I know. I love this seasoning. Here, I'm just gonna leave one of the jars out for anybody else who comes in. This is what we have for lunch. We've prepped 6 jars of these, and now we're making the chicken Tuscan soup. Okay. So now I'm gonna add my carrots, my sweet potatoes. Again, the recipe actually called for white potatoes, but I had sweet potatoes on hand, so that's a little bit of a variance there. And then my cucumbers, or sorry, what are those? carrots. All right, add that. And then I'm gonna add my chicken stock to that. And the celery gets added next, plus my chicken stock. And we got a liter. I'll use my bone broth. So if you make your own like stock or bone broth and stuff, of course you can use that, but I do not. So that's what I used. All right. All right, so that's gonna come to, once that comes to a boil, I'll be able to simmer it. And then that's probably where we're gonna cut off, everyone. It's been about an hour. I can tell you the next step is I gotta let the stock and the veggies simmer for about 20 minutes. And then I'll add the chicken, and then let it cook for another like 20-25 minutes. And then it'll be done. And then add the kale at the end. So I'm just gonna have to cut off and show you guys what the finished product looks like once it's done. And I'll do that like again, another like a YouTube short or something. But I'll add the recipe to the mason jar salads here, as well as to the chicken Tuscan soup. And I hope you do try them, and I hope they help. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Let me know if you found this type of video to be helpful, this type of live, I should say, to be helpful. And I can try to do some more of these like quick meals live with you. Otherwise, you can look forward to seeing them in just upcoming videos where I'll share the recipes and the process. But okay, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.